And we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First carry for James Conner. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tank.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Let's get some penetration here. We're getting some penetration. Snickers. Switch it. 44. Hey.
Here's Roethlisberger. On the left side, it's McDonald. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And he finds his tight end, Graham. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
11 yards there, 1st down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. Hey, Haywood.
On 1st down, Rodgers. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
After the sack on 1st down, Rodgers. And he's got the connection to the tight end, Graham. Touchdown, Packers. Jimmy Graham. 29 yards, and the Packers add on to their lead. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, 27 yards. And the Steelers have now made this a 1-score game. Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This 2nd quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Hey, Zoo.
Rodgers throwing again. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Touchdown, Packers! Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 71 yards. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again. And you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Conner. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
To try again after the sack. Roethlisberger now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Returnable here for Davis. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. To throw again on second down, Rodgers. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 12 yards there and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to...
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Crosby with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. He's going to launch it for Washington. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Davis now to return it. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about.
Get 300. Get 300. You don't want nothing.
On first and 10, here's Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a gain of 20 as we wind down near 20 seconds left in the quarter. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
I'm coming after you. Jump out. Hey, Echo. Mike is a 50. Check my 50. Tighten up, tighten up.
Throwing is Rodgers. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 7.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down.
Box it. Record. Hey, Alpha. 50. Yeah. Here we go. 50. Let's go tight end.
Now Rodgers. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll be tackled after a gain of 4. Still 3 yards short. 4th down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will do it for this first half. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Third quarter starts with a run from Connor. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Blake Martinez. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Back north. Hey, Delta. Wild Bill. Mike 55. Hey,
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Watch the pass. Here we go. Take 30. Out. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
Rodgers to throw again. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Double up, double up. He's coming. 30. Hey, exit.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Javon Hargrave, the D-tackle, getting the sack.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel. So you pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here we go, here we go.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Roethlisberger, pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Nice 50, nice 50. Let's go. Hey, box drop, box drop. I got you, boy. I got you.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down.
Easy, easy, easy. Squeeze, squeeze, double, double. Switch, switch, switch.
They'll try and throw for him with Roethlisberger. Escaping the pressure right. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
$3.19. Cover it. 50. Hey, orbit. Max 50, Max 50. Zoom, zoom. Max 50, Max 50, Max 50. Let's go, D. Lift again.
Here's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
50's the mic. 50's the mic.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers, he's airing it out for Whip, and he fires one that's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 34. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Adrian Amos with a pick, and he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Here we go, 50.
Hey, Haywood! Easy.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, 626. Get 300. Get 300. Box it, box it, box it, box it. Hey, wahoo!
26 Mike, 26 Mike. Here we go.
Yeah, this. We didn't get that.
Now Rodgers. He'll take a shot for Davis to the end zone. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. And they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And the Steelers on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be third and a mile. Now Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down.
50's the mic. 50's the mic. Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, alert, 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 alert. Take both of them.
50, Mike, 50. Here we go. Here we go.
The Steelers will go. It's Roethlisberger. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he'll take this one down near the 15. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Again, it's Jones. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
High 7.
55. Right there in the middle. 55.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line.
To throw is Rodgers. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down and inside the 5-yard line.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all.